Hello everybody, this is Bill McFadden. In this video we're going to take a look at the Augmented Six chords, in particular the French, German, and Italian Augmented Six, and we'll also briefly review the Neapolitan. So in order to get started, we're going to take a look at the key of C minor. We're going to take a look at the scale and also the harmonic minor scale, but let's start with the minor scale. So we have E flat, A flat, and B flat, and we'll take a look at the harmonic minor because these are the notes on which we form the chords in the minor scale. So we actually have a B natural, and then again the minor scale, has the B flat. So as we move over and take a look at the chords from the minor scale, we have C minor, D diminished, E flat major, F minor, G, and notice we're not using the B flat, which is in the scale of C minor, but it's not in the scale of the harmonic minor. It has the B natural, and then A flat, and then B augmented, and C minor. So the reason we use the harmonic minor scale for the chords in the minor scale is because that's the way it was done in the Baroque and classical era most of the time. So let's take a look at what the augmented six chords are. So primarily you're going from the subdominant to dominant, and what we do is we modify the four chord. The four chord in C minor would be F minor, and the way we get the Italian is we raise the fourth, we sharp the fourth of the four chord, and so there you have your Italian. And then in order to get the German, we keep really the Italian, and then we add the E flat, the flat 3 relative to the C major scale would be the flat 3. And then in order to get the French, you could take the Italian, which is the sharp 4, the flat 6, and the 1 of the scale, and then add the second. So there's your French. So normally when we do a 4-5-1, it would sound like this. So you just have your 4 chord, and then you're going to your 5 chord, and then back to your 1. So if we do the Italian, here we are at our 4 chord, we raise the 4th, and then for the German, our basic modified 4 chord, it's the Italian plus the minor third, so and then going to the French, think of that as the Italian plus the second of the scale, or in other words, if I use this particular inversion of G sharp, or sorry, G7, then to the 1. Now, so primarily we're using the augmented 6 chords to go from the subdominant to the dominant, replacing the, or as an alternate to the 4 chord. So we have the Italian, German, and French. Now, going back in the previous video, we looked at the Neapolitan. So what you're doing is going from the 2 chord to the 5 chord. So the 2 chord is D diminished. If we then flat the second in the scale, D, then we have the Neapolitan. So basically it's a major chord, and it starts on the second, flatted second note of the scale. So then here would be a chord progression. If we start from the C, go to the subdominant, in other words, we're starting from the tonic, going to the subdominant in the minor key, then we go to the dominant, and then back to the tonic. And then if we do the same thing with the Neapolitan, so here we are with the C minor, then we do the Neapolitan, and it's usually done in first inversion. That's why we have a F in the bass, and then the G7, and then back to the tonic. So now let's see it in action with a piece by Chopin, Chopin Prelude number 20. We'll look at the last 5 measures. So let's play this measure. So if you notice the first we have a C minor chord. We have long notes of the C minor chord, which are basically C, E flat, and G. And then we come up an octave. So now we have C in the bass. So we have all the notes in the A flat chord. So if we were looking at in terms of inversions, so the first inversion has a C in the bass. And then we come to the B diminished chord. So notice we have the B in the bass, and normally your D diminished chord, and it's a 7th. It would normally the D diminished would be, and then if you had the 7th, you have these notes. And we also have, so you may ask, well, where did the F sharp come from? Well, it's a chromatic passing tone. It's not actually in the diatonic scale of C minor. And now we have the G minor with the B flat in the bass. And then we go to the A minor 7. Normally your A minor 7 is, so it has those notes, A, C, E, and G. And then here comes the French. So why is that a French? Because notice that for one thing, it's the next chord is the dominant. So the French precedes the dominant, as does the Neapolitan. So normally the French, remember, is a modified 4 chord. So here's your 4 chord. We sharp the 4. And then if we add the second, we get the French. So notice we have the same notes. The A flat is in the bass in this case. So we have all the notes. And we have the octave of the D it's being emphasized. Then we go to a G chord. There we have a G7. Here's your 7th in the bass. And then we go to the C minor with the E flat in the bass, F minor, then a G, with a 7, G7, and then the A flat. And then notice here we have the D flat. And if you remember, the D flat was the Napoleon 6 in the key of C minor, assuming it goes to the dominant 7th, which it does. Here you have the G. And so here we have a passing tone. Now we have the G7 and then back to the C minor. So this is Bill McFadden. Hope you enjoyed the video showing the Neapolitan 6 and the French Augmented 6 in action in Chopin's Prelude number 20. So Bill McFadden signing off from Tone Pure Music.